Hi. So yeah, I haven't done a video standing up for a while with my phone and stuff, so I just thought I'd try that. The computer, it gets a little bit like boring sometimes, you know, like I'm kind of sitting there and yeah, it's a bit sort of funny. So in this video, if you've clicked on it, you know what the title is. I just wanted to talk about like what are some of the worst things and some of the best things you could do when you first arrive in China, or in your first year to be specific, or your first couple of years. So one of the best things you can do is to basically, like, in a sense, get a grip on like where you are. So just like try and work out exactly where you are and try to learn just from observations and you know, just be, I wouldn't say be antisocial, but just sort of like be very much like on guard as you would naturally be. Getting more specific, and what I really wanted this video to be about is, you know, when you arrive in a country like China, and this gets back to the whole loser back home sort of thing, it's very easy to kind of start to think of yourself as like on this important voyage and on this important, like, magnificent kind of like journey or something like that, because like, for example, me, like, I'm the only person in my family who's ever lived in China. I'm the only person who's ever lived in an Asian country in my family. It is kind of cool. Well, that's not true actually, but anyway. But you know, like, that's how you can sort of like look at it. You can start to think like, oh, this is so cool. And really, like, the best thing to do is just stay humble, you know. The amount of people that I've met that are telling me about how awesome their life was back in their country and all of the things they achieved and how amazing it was. It's, yeah, I mean, why did you come to China? Like, I didn't have a great life in my country. I wouldn't use the word loser to describe my life, but I was definitely living a life that sort of like chose me. I didn't choose it. If I tell you that I lived on a boat, you might think, oh, that's cool, but I didn't want to live on a boat. I wanted to live in a normal house. I didn't want to have to row my boat for 15 minutes to buy a coffee. I wanted to be able to just like walk down the street, close my gate, and that was the life I wanted, but I didn't have it. I didn't have that life. And in the end, I just decided that I was going to try to become an English teacher and just get out of the country and see what that was about. And I remember when I went to Korea and I had this little room above a shop, and I had my own little kitchen and I had my own little bathroom. I wasn't living in a squat, you know, or living in a house that somebody else owned and I didn't know who owned it, and I was just staying there. I wasn't living on a boat. I didn't have to worry about sinking or, well, I didn't really worry about sinking. I didn't really worry about anything, but living on a boat, it is cool, but it's just really inconvenient. It's not the ideal life long term, especially if the boat's really small and moored too far out. But yeah, you know, like, that's the life that I had. I was eating out of bins, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, that's cool. Like, it's good to fight the fight against food waste. But what I'm trying to get to is this, like, one of the worst things you could do when you come to China is kind of like tell yourself myths or tell yourself lies about who you were back in your own country, and then start telling other people those myths and telling other people those lies. That's not something that I did. I was mature enough to avoid that trap, but if you're a younger person, just yeah, like, people want to help each other, people want to help you, and if you're just honest, I mean, it's so powerful, it's so pure and so beautiful, even when it's not like a great truth. Like, the truth is always so, there's just something so kind of elegant about it, even if it's like an ordinary truth. Like, yeah, it's such a special thing. So one of the things that is really like a trap that people fall into, they rock up in a city, they go to a Western bar, they meet a whole bunch of people, expats, and they keep up with them. Like, oh, you're going to be at the bar on Friday night, let's watch the football, let's eat first. And before they know it, they're kind of keeping up with a pretty well-off group of people. Maybe they've got some friends, they're friends with them all, of course, but the best thing that you can do, and the way that you can really set yourself up as being successful, is just to be really quiet and stack up a whole bunch of money. That's the smartest thing you can do. And I'm not telling people how to live their life. People can live their life however they want. There are people who maybe think, well, I can't do anything. I can't achieve any sort of like financial success or whatever. But I saw this video by this lady. She's like a financial analyst. And she said, it was like a Charlie Munger quote, Warren Buffett's mate. And she was saying, look, the first $100,000 is so important. It's so crucial to your future success. And yeah, what I would say to anyone, look, if you're 26, 28, 30, 35, whatever age you're coming to China, my advice to you is shut up, not shut up. Reduce your expenses, live frugally. Don't go out drinking, don't go off and buy sets of brand new clothes and try to, take a girl out every weekend. Get down into the life of just regular people on the bus, on the subway, 2-for-1 deals, all that kind of stuff, and build up a couple of years of salary, and either send that home or put that into a long-term savings account or whatever. Okay, then settle down a bit and give yourself a nice budget. Give yourself a budget of 3,000 RMB a month, 5,000 RMB a month, whatever it is. I mean, mine's about 3. If you want to spend 5, then that's cool. I mean, you can probably afford to do that. But like, yeah, trying to keep up with people and telling yourself stories that aren't true and telling other people stories that aren't true is a good way to kind of be, like one of those, I don't believe anyone with a job is a loser, but like you hear these stories of like, loser teacher, or teachers are losers, or English teachers are losers. If you really, like, people say that to me and I just laugh because I think, well, look, I've got a job and, I've built up, a little bit of a like protection in a sense, like a little bit of armor in a sense that I can sort of worry like less than I did about finances. And, so if you do that, you can be really confident, and then you can sort of like introduce yourself to society with a bit of confidence and knowing that, you have achieved something and that there is some security, and you'll enjoy it a lot more. You'll enjoy it a lot more. So yeah, like, I guess that's my advice. And then there's some other general advice if anybody's still watching this video. I don't think anybody will be, but some general advice would be, if you don't meet a girlfriend right away who teaches you Chinese or whatever, try to have like a Chinese lesson with a Chinese person once a week, and try to get a good deal. We were talking about money before. You don't have to pay 200 or 300 RMB per hour for a Chinese lesson. A lot of Chinese teachers might be happy with even like 25 or 30 or 50 yuan per hour, like a student. But consistency, like everything, is key. If you have a 1-hour Chinese lesson once a week, you're not going to become fluent in 3 or 4 months or 6 months or a year. But that's a really good thing in your life. Like if you're learning a few words and you're being challenged once a week, that is still a lot better than nothing. And over time, you can build up slowly. Like my Chinese, 我不会说中文，就是听也行，听也行，可说得不好。My speaking is not very good, but my listening, I think, is getting pretty good, and I'm very, very proud of that. But my listening has improved because I've been in the country a long time, but also because I've been very open-minded about learning new words like having a positive attitude. So that would be, you know, getting a bit off track. I'm going on a bit, but that would be a really, really, really good piece of advice that I would give to anybody. And yeah, like everybody knows how to live their life. They don't need me telling them how to do it. Now, if anybody's still watching, I just want to say, like, I have got a few emails. I've got a lot, actually. It's been really quite amazing. I've had a couple of, like, people, they just seem to be, I don't know, taking the mickey out of me or something. But most of them, like, almost all of them have been sincere. And yeah, it's really cool. I'm looking forward to helping to connect them to people and hopefully to good jobs. So yeah, if you are thinking about sending me an email, do it, because I will get back to you. And yeah, all right. Thank you very much. That's all. Bye-bye.